earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might broke up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
This April, TDC Home and Building Depot is turning green. Get 20% off energy-efficient and eco-friendly products from April 7th to 30th. Plus, during Earth Week, April 16th to 22nd, win energy-saving bulbs and reusable shopping bags. Join us for product demos and expert consultations. Make the switch. We're going reusable. Go green with TDC Home and Building Depot. Hurry in or visit us online today at shoptdcgroup.com. TDC. Together we succeed.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Morning. How are we doing this morning? Just to remind you, for those of you listening to us, we are on your FM dial at 98.9. We're being simulcast on TVC Channel 40. We're on Facebook as well as YouTube. Just to remind you of the numbers, if you wish to join in on the topic that we are discussing, or you wish to bring a pressing topic to the fore. In the UK, it's 0333-440065. In the US, 1-718-285-6984 or 1-305-921-4619 or our local number, 466-0989. To all of you celebrating, have a happy birthday, be it a graduation, a wedding anniversary, whatever anniversaries you're celebrating, a birth. For those of you who are just celebrating because you're grateful for life, enjoy your celebrations. To my niece, London Fagan, happy birthday, coming from your auntie. May you have an enjoyable day today. Quint, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Trying to be better than yesterday.
Okay.
Any pressing topics on your mind?
Not really. I think, if I'm not mistaken, last evening, Flames was telling me there was another big accident, and it seemed like it was really horrible.
Which one was this?
I don't know. He was trying to tell me
that one.
I told him I didn't know about it. I told him you were speaking about.
There was one on the Kim Collins Highway that knocked out the post. That
No,
I see the electricity Skelec worked tirelessly to put back in the ground. So kudos to Skelec. Thank you for that. I know your hard work and dedication, well, it's appreciated by me because the post that was knocked down is no longer there and a new post is in and the wires are reattached.
Yeah, because electricity is vital to our everyday. Yeah, so, but I don't know much about it. He was trying to tell me about it, but, so I thought since you asked, I thought I'd bring that up. And when he spoke about it, all that could go through my mind is that people aren't listening, people aren't learning. We're repeating the same things
every day.
And over.
Over and over and over we are. Folks, remember, if you're going to be late, just be late. There's no sense in rushing. Nowhere in St. Kitts is far. We're a pretty small island. Take your time. And for those of you that are visiting, remember, here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we drive on the left side. Please do not drive on the right side. Please be mindful. You're going to rent, ask questions, and follow the road markings. Take your time and you'll get there too. But remember, we drive on the left here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And like Greg liked to say, St. Kitts needs to become an independent, a republic, a republic. I want to say that Israel just needs to stop, because I'm not going to stop until Israel stops. I know they say when you turn your back on Israel, then your doom is imminent, but Israel needs to stop.
Don't say that. If you turn your back on the true Israel, perhaps, but not this Israel. This Israel is not the true Israel. So
but they
don't
think
fall
they are.
for that propaganda.
They think they are. But when soldiers are going to say that they were told to fire into crowds, even into crowds where unharmed people are, that's sickening.
Yeah.
That is sickening. These people are going to look for food. And this news article comes from Al Jazeera, and it says, death or food, the Palestinians killed by Israel at Gaza's aid center. And it said, at the sight of her son, Ahmed bullets-riddled body laid out in the courtyard of Nasser Hospital in southern Gaza, Ashmahan Saad collapsed on the ground, overcome by grief. Her screams echoed through the air, her voice choked by shock and sorrow. She kissed the 23-year-old's face, hands, and feet as she cried. Her 6 other children and relatives tried to hold her back, but she pushed them away. Leave me with him, she cried. Ahmed will speak again. He told me, Mom, I'm not going to die. I'll bring you something from the aid center in Rafah. Ahmed had left the displaced family shelter in Al-Mawasi before dawn on Thursday to collect food. He never returned. His cousin, Mazen Sat, was with him. Mazen said Ahmed was shot in the abdomen when Israeli forces opened fire on a crowd near the United States-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation aid distribution center in Rafah. Others were also killed and wounded. In just 1 month, 600 Palestinians have been killed and more than 4,200 wounded by Israeli fire near the GHF aid distribution sites across to Gaza's government media's office, and the number of deaths at these centers climb on a near daily basis. What were meant to be lifelines facilitated by the U.S. while bypassing United Nations agency have instead become fatal checkpoints. Fatal choke points. Human rights organizations and UN officials have criticized the GHF model as militarized, dangerous, and unlawful. A report publicized by the Israeli newspaper Haaretz on Friday quoted Israeli army soldiers saying they have been ordered to shoot into unarmed crowds even when no threat was present.
Look, we've heard soldiers who have sort of defected from the Israeli army. Over years, we have heard them saying that they have been given orders to do the most heinous things. Look, no matter...
These people are unarmed. Why are you shooting into crowds that are unarmed? What madness is this?
Look, as horrible as this is and as ongoing as it is, as Sylvian tends to say, everything is for a time. And this Israel, they're going to meet their demise. Sooner or later, one way or the other, maybe this is setting up their demise, but they're going to meet. You can't be this vicious and unforgiving and murderous and not have to pay. Karma is going to come around and catch them somewhere along the way. The sad thing, though, is that in the interim, a lot of innocent people are dying.
Yeah, because they say with nearly... This is just madness. Imagine they have managed to kill Gaza's population of 2 million people, worn out by 21 months of relentless bombing and displacement.
I'm going to give you a scenario. Remember when this general from the United States sat in front of Congress and accused Ibrahim Traore of absconding money and so forth, and he went so far as to say he should be arrested, and remember that period?
The black general,
yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what has Ibrahim Traore done to, it's only because the the African continent got up and said, no, if you take him out, you're going to see some really horrible things happening to your people who are on our continent. But look at what Israel is doing, and no one is doing anything. But you wanted to go in and take out a black man who's doing the best for his country. Because as long as they want something, they will find ways to do it. So that shows us they condone no matter how.
One and two, that if you turn your back on them, you'll be in problems. But as you say, this Israel is a different one from the one that we were told we shouldn't turn our back on.
But even any Israel, even if the original Israel, as we know, were black people, Israelis and so forth, if they were doing such a heinous thing, I as a black person would turn my back on them. You understand? So we're not supposed to say, oh, well, if it was people who we like or we love, they could get it. And that is what the world is saying. The world is saying, we love these people for whatever reason, and they're going to, I don't care what, none of them. The whole established, developed world is losing respect day by day. The rest of the world, the developing world, the so-called underdeveloped world is looking at them and they're losing respect. So down the line, when it reaches a point where we don't even study with them, it's not going to be a surprise. Hello, caller.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
And morning and greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell, and the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, what I would like to call for, well, yes, it's very sad what Israel is doing, and Israel likewise will one day pay for their evil, wickedness, and sins, as others have been doing, and with all due respect, I think the Palestinians as well at this moment are also paying for the past disobedience and present disobedience to the word of God as well. So we all will suffer one way or the other by the hand of God for our disobedience to his word. And it will in the end bring death if we do not biblically repent and believe the gospel of Jesus Christ. Now, there were some things that I did not get to say yesterday.
Greg, I've told you there's a whole big world with so many different issues, and you always want to revisit, and then we're going to go round and around in circles. We don't want to do that. That is one of the things why people complain, because you keep bringing back. It's like you feel you have to prove that you can't lose on a point. I lose on points sometimes. Hortensia may lose on points because something we may realize that we don't know it all, and we have to give way to someone who knows, or give way to the truth. So sometimes you've got to do that and leave certain things alone and come up with something else. Don't always revisit, because we're not getting anywhere. We're gonna go back over, and you're gonna say the same thing, and I'm gonna say the same thing. We're not, because I'm not gonna convince you, and I'm not gonna convince you, and you're not gonna convince me. Let's move. Let's move to something else. Please don't bring back what we've done before, because you always do it.
No, I wanted to interject something new that I did not mention in the concern the same subject. Is something new that I did not get to mention.
Okay.
And I think it's very important.
Be brief on it. And I'm not going to entertain you on it. I'm not going to have a discourse with you on it, because I don't want to be going around in circles. But express yourself and be brief.
Yes. Now, this other important thing that I wanted to add is simply this. When government raise the minimum wage, what we do not consider in context that make things worse is when employers pay social service levy, they have to match from their own money the employer's social service levy. So if an employer pays in, let's say, $30 from the employee wage for social service levy, the employer have to dig into his pocket to match it dollar by dollar and add from his own pocket $30 social service levy to match what he paid into Social Security for his employee social service levy. So if an employer now is employing, let's say 10, 15 people, he have to match each one of them social service levy. So when the government increase minimum wage, you actually increase as well the employer digging in further in his pocket to match the social service levies for his employees. So therefore, the more expense you're going to put employers in where social service levy is concerned, and the more they're going to be reluctant in hiring people to put themselves in extra expensive, because you put them in more expenses, and the quicker they're going to turn to firing people, cutting down the working hours, or resorting to all other stuff that will not be good for the business and definitely will not be good for his employees. The employer matching social service levy is one of the biggest contributions to the high rate of unemployment in the country, in the Federation. And that was it, basically.
Okay.
And I think that's a very important issue. Thank you.
It sounds good. No other issue?
Well, let me, if things go on later, I will call him. But before people, as you say, complain, let me just settle for now, and then we see what happens later on.
Okay.
God's willing.
Yeah. And again, Cortens, you notice there's certain individual who will call, and I'm sure you hear people complaining that they want to say something, but where are they?
They haven't managed to get in yet.
One thing you can say about and Greg, and that is why I let him express himself. He's consistent, and without people like him, we'd be here just talking all the time to ourselves. And all of those individuals who complain, we don't hear them. Right now, I don't see the phone lighting up, but they're going to complain. So some people just love to complain, even when there's no real cause to complain, because like I said, I like when these things happen because I like to actually analyze people and see that people are more rhetoric than action.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to put to the fore?
Nah, just still concerned about the folks for now.
I was looking at the news, the past news about the 15-year-old girl who went missing and then was found dead. Boy, she was a pretty little girl, and I'm thinking to myself, look how we're just destroying the potential of our youths,
Especially our young women, because in Guyana, the young girl that drowned. In Antigua, the little 9-year-old that was, oh my gosh, killed heinously. And we have not heard anything else about that. We've heard nothing else about the accused. I know these things take time. They come up in the court, whatever, but when it's not a young man, one behind the other, it's now our young women. And if we're going to destroy the future of our nations, then we're
heading for extinction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, not extinction, but deep crap, because we just destroy.
We're heading for extinction if we kill off the youths. The youths are who are going to carry on our legacy and everything else.
Just yet, but we just got to be
not just yet, but eventually. Good day, Sylvie.
Morning. How are you?
Who tell you we're going to extinction?
That's what I was saying.
What the song said, they can't get rid of us?
Yeah, they can, but if people keep killing us, then we're going to be problems.
It's a while of trying.
Maybe we'll get rid of ourselves. They can't get rid of us.
That might better, but extinction by now.
Yeah.
Now it's slavery to do it.
And it didn't work then, right?
Yeah.
It never work. We are ordained to be here.
Yeah. I agree.
If God be for us, who can be against us? Now let me come to Greg. Greg has no kind of feeling for workers, and he works at the Inland Revenue. And you see the condition of workers worldwide. Oh, and the business owners. Well, darling, if the workers don't buy, they don't have no business. And you see, in Texas, they were talking the other day. The people who work on the farms get between $3 and $4 an hour.
Wow, that's nothing.
The rate in the country is usually between 7 to 15.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes on the farm, they don't even provide shelter for the people.
Yeah.
So sometimes the people sleeping outdoors on the side of the road, you know?
Yeah.
That, to Greg, is good business. So why build up the business owners at the expense of the workers?
He confuses me, Miss Henry, because sometimes he said, "Oh, we doing this to the poor, we're doing this to the poor," and then the next time he comes and he says something else, and I'm like,
but he got the economics wrong. I tell him so, He need to do development economics. He need to study the condition of workers worldwide. If you keep them at survival, because that is where they had them, at subsistence level.
Yeah.
All during the Industrial Revolution. How about poverty and high debt rates and so? What benefit is it to the business owner? If his workers are always hungry, you're forcing them to steal from you. That their productive capacity is reduced. And the amount of things they get from the government for free. The subsidy level, social service levy, it's a tax. It is a tax. And Greg and I know, because I know, when you look at the financial statement of these companies, some of them say they never make a profit yet,
Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday, yeah.
I know, and Greg said, we don't read them, but Greg, he used to pass them to me, and I used to read them. I recall one time I went down to a hotel, and I was trying to collect the occupancy rate, right?
Yeah.
The hotel owner said, the occupancy rate is 25%, right? So I said, well, why are you expanding your business then? If your business is 75% empty, you understand?
Yeah.
I have seen some thriving businesses in saying it's financial accounts. Loss.
Yeah.
They find every way to write off the net profit.
Yeah.
And Greg knows that.
Yeah.
Greg is pretentious.
But
Greg, I don't mean any harm to you.
he's saying that with the increase that government's putting on these businesses to pay people better, that these businesses might fall up. Do you think there's any merit to that?
But she just...
Let me ask you, some of them owe the bank, Fall up in that sounds easier. If you already owe the bank, you will fall up, but the bank don't get all. I mean, think about it. If that is your only source, you're going to fall up.
Yeah.
It don't make sense. You find different ways to handle it.
Yeah.
Now, some of them use the shortening of the time, right? Instead of getting 40 hours, they try to get 36. But fall up is not an option.
Yeah.
When you fall up, how are you going to survive? It sounds good, You think this thing can fall up? And ask for it? And every time you turn around, you see another Chinese store open. But they're paying the same things like you.
Yeah.
And could you imagine if there was no Social Security? When many of the workers have no pension.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even think about that. Can you see? Greg like me pension, sure.
Yeah.
Whether we sell one passport or not, we're going to get our pension. And then he gets two. One from the government and one from Social Security.
Wow.
That's why he could be talking like that,
So Greg is in the fat.
He said.
Yes. Why do you think he hasn't gone to look any work? He's satisfied.
You're getting out all of Greg business, man. I'm sure.
He retired, so he don't need to. He don't need to be on that.
Let me tell you, I was a civil servant. At 55, I retired. I started on putting enough hard, long hours. I mean, hard and long.
Yeah.
Before I died in the government, behind the government desk,
Yeah.
I said, let me go home. Now, I had to wait 7 years for my Social Security. There are many people working in businesses, what you call small business, until they're 70 years. And if it was not for Social Security, I would have been full of beggars. So when they are paying the little Social Security, some of them that even lie and reduce.
Yeah.
You know, they're not doing
those are the things,
worker a favor.
Those are the things. Those are the things we spoke to yesterday about how they project something, but yet you still see them contributing to this and contributing to that, but they say they're not making a profit. You know.
They can fool you, but they can't fool me. I used to tell Mr. Ward, I don't think he appreciates me. I think I don't trust accountants.
Oh wow.
I mean, I've been working on my job for so long. One time I had to ask one, well, wait, how come your expenses are high and the workers have not received any increase?
Yeah.
And when you look and see what the directors get in, your mouth drop.
Yeah.
If it was not for the workers, they wouldn't get all of these bonuses and perks.
Sylvie, do you remember some years ago, I think it was during one of the George Bushes, I think, or maybe it was the last George Bush tenure, when the American economy was in such of a disaster that they gave all of those big corporations tax break,
bonuses.
and then no sooner than they gave them the tax break, some of them went and had these lavish banquets where they rented hotel suites for X amount of millions and big parties, and people were in an uproar.
Because not only that, because the government turned around and was bailing them out.
Yeah.
So the money they give them to bail them out, they take it for themselves.
Yeah.
Even this thing about when Trump went and raised the tax rate, not rate, reduce it.
Yeah.
And even on the other one, they said, well, they're giving them these things so that they could keep the people employed. Keep the people employed. They end up had to carry some of them to court. On the stock market, these businesses went and began to buy back their shares, which meant that if you had a share, you no longer was entitled to dividend because they buying back. They went and was buying back, buying up their own shares. So, Greg, I don't know why you're so fascinated with one set of people. And this got happened to the poor people. Well, darling, when poor people get enough stress, they rise up, Wonder if he knows that.
Yeah,
you can only suppress people for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and they will lose their business. Well, they will help them lose it. Sometimes out of frustration, people do things, and if you carry up this and you carry up that. They have been doing it. Have they gone out of business? Why are there more retail businesses now than before?
Yeah. And that's why I say it's confusing because, they're going to put up the prices, but we still manage to survive somehow because our peers don't really move as fast. They must manage
because we are compelled to shop.
Yeah, but he's saying where supply and demand don't increase. Well, I'm sure you heard him. All of these things.
I just hear Greg, Greg will make a good scholar, Serious. I saw, and he's not too old for it. You could do online courses in development. He reading all of these, I wouldn't say revolutionists, but I call them now. As far as they're concerned, this world belongs to the business owners.
Yeah.
And the rest of us are serfs.
Yeah, to the elites. Yeah.
Not even the elite. We're the serf. The feudalists.
Yeah, so that's why I said the elites.
Man, the crop could be big.
Yeah.
The master still want 75%.
Mm-hmm.
People were dying. I mean, maybe you need to study the health of the people all in England. People naked. Look, I read London now. In St. because I was doing some research. Mm-hmm. And then all in 1920s and 30s, and they talk about after slavery, people in Boston were walking around naked, naked and impoverished.
Yeah.
Even in 1965, when they had the Commission of Inquiry into the sugar industry, it was revealed that workers don't usually go out on a Monday, the cane cutters, right?
Yeah.
And they was, are they drunk? And they said, not really. He said the people were malnourished. The adults,
Yeah.
don't usually go out on a Monday, the cane cutters, right?
Yeah.
And they was, oh, are they drunk? And they do. They said, not really. He said the people were malnourished. The adults, you know.
Yeah.
So Greg, I like Greg, you know, I really like him, but Greg needs to enlarge his knowledge base. The enthusiasm without knowledge is dangerous, you know. Dangerous things. To those like him, it doesn't sound good, but it don't make no sense. We have come so far. If the government, they give the government the social service levy, who building the NHC house, who giving government loans, is the same thing. I mean, I suppose if the government is supposed to build a house, government is supposed to do no what?
No, well, he doesn't believe government is supposed to do those things.
But it don't make no sense. It does not make any sense in a modern.
That's why I asked him who is going to take up the mantle, because he says privatize the hospital, privatize. But who in the private sector wants all that work?
And that's not the point of wanting to work, you know.
But
they have made life so difficult
who's going to
that the
do it,
government
though?
has to do it.
Who in the private sector is gonna provide housing and hospital services? Because if they do, then nothing would be free, and the average person that cannot afford it won't be able to take care of themselves.
Well, it's more like can't afford it. If you got NHC houses, right? And they can't pay.
Yeah.
Which building company could
Gonna
build
allow them to stay in
thousands
it?
of houses?
Exactly. Or provide houses to people. who
And
can't
not
pay.
only that, since the businesses paying the social service levy, which was designed to be a housing levy, you know that, right?
Yeah.
But instead of the money going to NHC, it went straight into the consolidated account. And different things like that. Greg has this idealistic thing, you know. I think in Greg's mind, everybody is a farmer, like the old time days. We either eat or we starve.
But Sylvain, he uses the Bible as his reference point. That is the thing.
The devil has used the Bible too. No, the devil used the Bible as Jesus, you know?
Yeah, he did.
If you don't know the Bible and know the culture, you got to know the history and the culture. Two things you need to know about the Bible. The history and the culture. Greg is talking about when people, so like in Africa, those people look after cattle, the Maasai and so.
Yeah.
They live off of the milk.
Yeah.
When the young people leave them, the resort or whatever, and going to the city, they're not going back. That is why Africans jump in a boat to save their life. Because Greg had this kind of image. You know, you had this class, and they live in sky high. You know, like Jesus talk about the story of the man. The sorry man by the gate, and not even a half a bread throw out.
Yeah.
That's the image that Greg has in his head.
Was that Lazarus?
They gave him the name of Lazarus, man, know what his name was. And the dog used to come and lick the man.
his sword.
And the man passing, coming through the door, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the good Samaritan story. That's it like Greg's story. Well, nobody put him there, so everybody pass what go peep and pass.
But you see,
that is the idea of the private sector.
But you see, Sylvain, I referenced this morning that you tend to say that everything is only for a time. And remember that same Lazarus, a rich man.
Yeah, he begged Lord.
Beg Lord, let him come and drop a bit of water on my tongue.
But they do it. That's election time, eh? You know, that's his election.
Yeah.
All the time, dog licking you. An election to come. Lord, give me another chance.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to make life better for you.
Yeah.
So, Greg mean well, but Greg doesn't misinterpret. It's like we're talking about, who choose and who ain't choose. Well, God's supposed to mark it on your belly. I choose you. So you don't even bother try to pray. You don't even bother try to learn the Bible, because you go to hell. That's not Jesus' theory, you know. He says he's not willing that anybody should perish.
Yeah.
He says God takes no pleasure in the death of the wicked. He rather the wicked turn. Where do you think he's going to their homes of these people? Oh, he's a drink, he's a drunkard, and he's a that. He's a prostitute man. I mean, really, Greg, come on. You are doing more damage to the kingdom of God than things. You need to know the culture of the Bible and the history of the book, but I gave it to a Rasta. Because once you interpret things outside of that, you're going wrong. All right, then.
Okay,
right.
you
Thank
take
Miss
care.
Henry.
Yeah. Thanks for your input. We'd like to take a bit of a commercial break, but we are doing some updating here. So, yeah, those are things we spoke to yesterday in terms of how they would cheat customs, do everything, rig the books and so forth, never want to admit about their profits, and instead of passing it on to the worker, you know. Hello, caller.
Hi, good morning, Quint. Good morning, Hortensia.
Good morning.
Good day.
There is an interesting twist in the politics in New York. Recently, a young man, 20, 30 something years old, I think his name is Zohan Randani.
Mm-hmm.
He won the Democratic, for mayor, the mayor of New York City.
Yeah, that Trump is threatening to deport.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so he was born in Uganda of Indian parentage.
Yeah.
Zohan Randani. But for some strange reason, his middle name is Kwame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was a Saturday born, because all Saturday born in the culture, like Mrs. Henry, good morning, Mrs. Henry, talking about the culture. In the culture of the Akan people in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, once you're a Saturday born, you was given the name Kwame. Kwame Nkrumah happened to be the first president of Ghana. But I'm coming back to say that this guy ran on a ticket that New York City is too expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And were he to win, because it's not here yet, because I think it's November, December, when he's going to have the full election. Were he to win, he will take from the rich, right? And really lower the price in terms of transportation, housing, you know what I mean, like rent and so forth.
Yeah.
And he won. He beat out a popular, his father used to be the mayor. You know?
Yeah.
Coma. Yeah, and he won. And so it is interesting because it was a wide array of people from all walks of life who voted for him, especially the young.
Yeah.
And the Jewish people, because he have had interviews. One time they interviewed him and they asked him, where would you go for vacation? Everyone talked about the Holy Land and Spain and France. And he said, no, he will stay here and take care of the needs of the people in New York City. So this guy won handsomely. And it would be interesting to see that. Because Trump, like Hortensia said, Trump really swiped at him. And he told Trump that you abandoned the people. You ran on something that I am running on. But now that you're there, you know what I mean? You have forsaken the people. Well, I am not going to forsake the people. It's going to be left to be seen. But he is running on the same ticket that he said that Trump ran on and have forsaken the poor people, so to speak. I did not hear Greg comment, but I know his chain of thought. I have listened to Greg over the years, and Greg mean well. You know, it's just that we were taught, we were indoctrinated to have a certain status quo, and we're not going to abandon it. It seems like we plan to just go into our graves upholding the status quo, which, like social media, the media, you know, the established media, they're going flat now because they don't dictate the narrative anymore. It's ordinary people who dictate the narrative. And people are listening to the ordinary media houses not the BBC and the CNN and the Fox News and the like, for them to tune in and to listen to a certain, frequency in terms of news dissemination and the like. But that was interesting that the guy won the New York mayoral primary, and he won, and the type of thing he ran on, in like lowering the cost of the most expensive city in America, New York City.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, well, thanks for indulging. We're going to take a bit of a commercial break, and we should be setting up for a bit of a rapport later on.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Attention, St. and Nevis. The countdown is on, and time is running out. This is your final call, your last chance to save big at Hostos Automotive during our VAT Off Drive On blog event. It's your final call, your last chance to get up to $15,000 in total savings. No down payment, free servicing for 12 months, free bill of sale, $1,000 in groceries, or 3 months of free gas, free registration, licensing, tinting, and accessories, and 4% VAT off on top of it all. Yes, you've heard right. Everything free and 4% VAT off. But listen closely. This incredible sale ends when June ends. No extensions, no do-overs. This is your final call. Your last chance for the biggest auto sales saving for the year. So don't walk, run to Hostos Automotive now. Your dream car is waiting, and these deals are ready to roll. Hostos Automotive, where affordability meets the road. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you dreaming of a brighter future? The answer is right beneath your feet. Buying land is a wise investment. You can build a home, hold it as collateral, or pass it on to your children. And with CIBC Caribbean, buying land is a bold move you can make right now. CIBC Caribbean is giving you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com for more details. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Because the inflator can rupture, shooting shrapnel through the airbag, which can cause serious injury or even death. Don't risk it, fix it.
Please contact TDC Automotive Division to find out if your Toyota vehicle is affected by the Takata airbag recall. Visit or call us at 465-2511 in St. Kitts, at 465-2511 in St. Kitts, or at 469-5430 in Nevis.
I ain't got no hurricane safety tips now. Well, Skelett got, and together we can weather the storm. So, check this. Prepare for power outages. Charge devices before a storm strikes. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where and how to shut off your...
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. When I lime it at the beach on the town, Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love. Happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
St. Kitts and Nevis, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher. Pay your bill in full. Sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today. Got itchy palms? That's a sign. Money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea as we continue our program this morning. And excuse me, I saw an article from The Guardian, and it concerns Haiti. They are now using drones, and it says the ground shook drone attack help Haitian government wrest control of capital from criminal gangs. I know we speak about Haiti and then we don't hear about Haiti again, and then things are happening while we don't speak, and then I see articles that come up because I read a headline yesterday where it comes to the concern of the children's plight in Haiti, because I could only understand, as we said, these children are our future generation and lots are happening to them. So I'm going to read a bit of the article. As I said, it's from The Guardian. And it says, the earth beneath Jimmy Antoine apartment shuttered, and for a split second, he feared another natural disaster had struck, like the 2010 cataclysm that brought Port-au-Prince to its knees. The ground shook like it does during an earthquake. You tremble like everything might collapse, said the 23-year-old trainee mechanic, recalling how he and his panicked neighbors raced out on to the street. This time, though, the jolt had come not from deep below, but from high above. It was the detonation of a weapon. Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T.
Hello? Yes. I'm calling again. Now,
be brief because we're standing by for another program.
Okay, let me call in after the other program.
No, go ahead. We're standing by.
Okay, yes. Okay, what I want to say is that countries that have opened up their economies more, which is going in the direction of capitalism, primary capitalism, countries that have low taxes and so on, like, for example, Argentina under Millet, those countries and other countries, even some provinces in China, you name them all. Poverty rate in those countries have significantly lowered. Okay? These are policies that are going in the direction that I just speak of. Now, I deal with biblical economics.
We have another caller.
Everything is... Hello?
I was just telling you we have another caller.
Go ahead, Greg.
Go ahead.
Oh, yes, I deal with biblical
but
economics.
Be brief. No. Be brief.
Yes. Now, you see, there are things these are why I don't have to say some things over and over again, because Miss Henry totally misrepresented me. She resorted to intellectual dishonesty in She resorted to intellectual dishonesty in. For example, I just say, hey, give people the land free. And they could use the land as collateral so they could build their own houses. Miss Henry understand these things about what I just said.
Greg, we might have to touch this in terms of dealing with what Miss Henry said another time. Hello, other caller.
Okay.
Well, it's more or less on the same page.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to be brief because
economy, right? I would like to ask you and your listeners a question. Which would people prefer? To be working for a livable wage, or wage that can fulfill what their needs are, or is it being given a handout from government? Because if a government has the capacity to give handouts, then it means that we're overtaxed. Because I don't think that's the role of the government, okay, to be given handouts. Yes, there's a need for social safety nets, but this should be at a minimum, okay, and the economy should be such that it supports the kind of standard of living that we have become accustomed to without having to have government handouts. And the other aspect of this is government employs way too many people, right? And
that's true.
I don't see them even looking at that as an important way of making sure that we have an efficiently run economy and efficiently run government, unfortunately. Okay, so there are those two things that I think we absolutely need to look at. And one other thing that I think we need to look at is, yes, our unemployment figures may be low, and I'm not sure how they arrive at it because I don't think we have good data collection. But what we have to look at is the serious underemployment. Because if you train workers, if people are graduating at a level that their skills that the economy cannot absorb their skills, and they have to go elsewhere and do something else that require low level, whether education, training, or whatever, then something is wrong there also. It's a failure of our economy, in a sense. Okay, so hopefully these things will be addressed, and we strive for some better economic programs or policies that can really put our economy on a path to real sustainability and expansion. That's my comment, really.
All right. Thank you for your comment, as usual, Mr. McMahon.
Okay, we'll take a break, and when we get back, we should be going into another bit of discussion.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Hey, have you heard about the water shortage in our area? Hey, have you heard about the water shortage? Me too. I've started taking shorter showers and turning off the faucet when I brush my teeth.
But that's great. Another way to save water is to fix any leaks in your house.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. How much water can a leak waste?
A small leak can waste up to 20 gallons of water daily, which can really add up over time.
Wow, that's a lot. And have to check for any leaks in my house.
But another good tip is to only run your dishwasher and washing machine when they are full to save water and energy.
I'll keep that in mind. It's important that we all do our part to conserve water, especially during this shortage.
Absolutely. Every drop counts.
This message was brought to you by the St. Kitts Water Services Department. Learn more at water.gov.kn.
St. Kitts and Nevis, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Join the UTC Global Balance Fund Limited for a free personal finance and investing webinar on Tuesday, July 8th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. via Zoom. Learn from financial expert Omar Burt-Smith and Tricia Ann Henry as they break down the power of investing and introduce the UTC Global Balance Fund Limited. Seats are limited. Secure your free spot now. Simply email us at info@ at utcgbfl.com. Register today.
Brought to you by the Department of Probation. Brought to you by the Department of Probation. Contact us at 662 6.
Welcome to Keep It Locked.
This morning I have Omar and Tricia Ann from UTC Global Balance Fund Limited. So I will start off this morning by welcoming you to our program, Island Tea. So good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
You're certainly welcome. So I'll dive right into things. Omar, I'll start with you. I know it's ladies first, but I'll start with Omar. So Omar, what is the UTC Global Balance Fund Limited and who is UTC?
All right. Good morning and thanks for having us again. Good morning to your listeners.
Our pleasure.
Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis. Can't wait to be on the ground next week. So the UTC Global Balance Fund is a retail mutual fund. It's the first of its kind to be launched in the ECCU, the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. We launched in St. Lucia in 2023, and it was really to give investors across the Eastern Caribbean the opportunity to start their investment journey, right? A number of us save very well, but we've not necessarily had that exposure to invest in, which is necessary if we not only want to grow our wealth, but maintain what we have, right? Following our launch in St. Lucia, we would have launched in St. Vincent in 2024, and then we launched in Grenada earlier this year in March, and we're actually launching the fund in St. Kitts this week. So we're looking forward to being in St. Kitts, right? So the UTC Global Balance Fund is a subsidiary of the Trinidad and Tobago Unit Trust Corporation, the largest mutual fund provider in Trinidad and Tobago. Been in existence since 1982 and manages funds of about 10 billion EC or 3.5 billion US, right? So they expanded into the region in 2023, launched a fund in Jamaica, and also launched a fund in the Eastern Caribbean, and that's the UTC GBFL. Right? So believe it or not, we actually do have clients from St. Kitts already, even though we've not launched just yet, because it's very easy to start up, right?
Yeah.
Typically, when you hear the term investments, people think, well, you know, it requires a lot of money, and in the past it has. If you wanted to invest in a government bond, you might have a minimum of, or need a minimum of about 5,000 EC to start. You could actually start investing in GBFL with as little as 100 US, right? And then 20 US thereafter. So it really caters to every man, persons from all walks of life. And what we've done is really try to democratize. It's a fancy word for making investments available to everyone, right? So we're looking forward because in addition to getting people started with their investment journeys, we also recognize that we have and the webinar on Tuesday evening helps in that regard, right? Whenever we launch in a territory, we do return to the territory time and time again to do different education initiatives. We won't get to do it this time around in St. Kitts in terms of the school visits that we usually do and the actual in-person seminars. But we look forward later in the year and as time goes by to do so. So that's just a little background into who UTC GBFL is and what the product is. So we are a mutual fund.
Alrighty. So thanks for that info, Omar. So Tricia Ann, this question is for you. What is a mutual fund for those folks who are not aware of what it is? Tricia Ann?
Tricia, you might be muted.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. So a mutual fund, it's mutual persons in the OECS is a financial vehicle that pulls the fund of a number of individuals and institutions These funds are invested in securities such as bonds, stocks, and money market instruments. The pooling of the funds in a mutual fund, it gives access to a wide range of investments that's maybe accessible to most. There are different types of mutual funds. You have money market funds, you have group funds, you have income funds, and there is a balance fund, which GBFL is.
Alrighty. So, what are the benefits of investing in mutual funds, and why are mutual funds an ideal investment for most?
So to answer your first question, investing in a mutual fund has several benefits. One of which being affordability. With UTC GBFL, you could start with as low as 100 US, which is 271.69 EC to be exact, and thereafter you could add to your investment as low as 20 US, $54.34 EC. Another benefit is professional management. We have professional management managing the fund. It provides steady returns over a medium to long term period, and the fund is very liquid, meaning that the shares can be converted into cash easily. To answer your second question, a mutual fund is a perfect investment for medium to long term financial goals. If you want to purchase or redevelop property, retirement, education, or just build your wealth, this is the perfect investment tool for you.
Okay. How
And this investment.
Okay. How often does one have to US, and then we can put 20 US as we go along? How often does one have to put money into this investment fund?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're asking how often?
Yes. How often do you have to put money into?
Yeah, so that's one of the beautiful things about the fund. It's entirely flexible. There are no requirements to buy periodically. So as the thing, you could buy one time and never buy again. You could buy shares every day. You could do it weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever works for you. So that's the level of flexibility in purchasing shares. As Trisha mentioned, it's also a liquid fund, so which means you can redeem your shares at any time if you need to convert to cash. And you sell your shares back to the fund. So you don't need to go looking for someone to buy your shares. Yeah.
All right, no problem. So Omar, this one is for you then. What types of assets does the GBFL invest in?
FL.
You heard me?
Yeah. So the primary, yeah, I did, yeah. The primary focus of GBFL is really to ensure that capital is preserved. And when I say capital, that the funds of the investors are preserved and while also generating income, right? So as Trisha mentioned, it's a balanced fund. So we aim to drive growth by investing in stocks, and we aim to balance off the risk in investing in stocks by investing in bonds, right? Which provides steady income. So on the equity side, or on the stock side, we invest, and a stock, for your listeners who may not be aware, is really a share of ownership in a company. So we invest in stocks in large, profitable companies, very familiar names to the people in St. Kitts. We're talking about international companies like Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, Netflix, you name it, right? On the fixed income side, or on the bond side, and bonds are debt securities that are issued by governments and corporations. We invest in US Treasuries because these still pay a very good rate with interest rates being high. We have invested in some regional bonds as well. And we invest in corporate bonds by international issues that are of a solid credit rating, right? So you must be investment grade when we invest in the bonds. And we invest on the equity side, we invest in highly liquid equity stocks and ETFs as well. That allows us to maintain that liquidity that Trisha had mentioned, that ease of converting assets into cash if needs be. So there's nothing risky in there for the folks who might be listening. So there's no crypto, no foreign exchange, no real estate. It's all plain vanilla stocks and bonds that can be converted to cash quite easily.
Okay. So Omar, tell us, for folks who may want to invest, we always like to know how is it doing. So tell us how the fund has been performing.
Yeah, so since our inception, the fund has been doing quite well, and I must say that past performance is no indicator of future performance. But what I can say is that for 2024, from the start of January to the end of December, the fund generated a return of 12.76%, right? So what that means is if you invested $100 in January 2024, the value of your investment would have been $112.76 at the end of the year, right? Which is not too bad. For the year so far, there's been some volatility in markets. Those who've been following the news, you've had the tariffs and the different conflicts going on in the Middle East. These have resulted in some market volatility. But year to date, we're at about 3%, right? Which is fairly steady. So all in all, the fund has been doing quite well so far. We continue to manage to preserve capital, as I mentioned earlier, and manage risk as best as possible in these uncertain times. But with risk also comes opportunity. So we're also trying to take advantage of that as well.
Okay. So, Trisha Ann, how do investors keep track of the value of their investments?
So with the mutual fund, it's kind of different as opposed to what we are accustomed to, where if you invest in a government bond or if you invest in stocks, you get periodical payments, whether it's every 6 months or yearly. With a mutual fund, it's different. The mutual fund is measured with the net asset value, or which we like to call the NAV, or the share price. And the NAV is basically, it's the value of the fund's asset less any liabilities. So the NAV represents the value of 1 unit of the holdings of the funds, your investment. And the NAV for GBFL is valued daily and is posted on our website for investors to view. So you could determine the value of your investments by visiting our website and seeing the NAV of the day.
Do you want to plug that website now, or we're going to hold on for later?
It's UTCGBFL.
Okay.
UTCGBFL.
All right.
Yes, .com. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So, Omar, are there risks involved in investing in the GBFL, and how is this risk managed?
Yeah, before I answer the question, I don't think I caught your name.
It's Cortensia. Cortensia.
Cortensia, right?
Yeah.
So Cortensia, I'm sure your grandmother used to tell you, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
One basket,
right?
Yeah.
Right. So with a mutual fund, that's our primary tool for fighting risk, right? And I'm not talking eggs, but I'm actually talking about a concept known as diversification.
Yes.
And what that really means is that we don't put all our eggs in one basket. So it's a large portfolio and we spread it across many asset classes, right? So when we say stocks and bonds, it's not just one stock and one bond, right? Right now, the fund has over 70 assets in there, right? So diversification, not only in terms of different types of assets, but across different markets, right? We have international exposure, so Australia, China, the US, obviously, parts of Europe, emerging markets, and the Caribbean. So that's our primary tool for managing risk, right? Every investment has an element of risk, and mutual funds are no different, right? A balanced fund typically carries moderate risk, which is between high risk and low risk, right? So it's really up the middle of the road. Additionally, our investment teams, our analysts, our research teams, we do quite a bit of due diligence on the portfolio on a daily basis. At the beginning of the year, we set out a portfolio strategy for the year based on the conditions in the various markets that we invest. And we do continuous monitoring and rebalancing of the fund. Rebalancing just means, buying and selling, changing the composition of the fund if necessary. So we're active managers. We pay very close attention, not only to the opportunity, but the potential threats to the portfolio as well.
Okay. So you said you're coming next week, right?
Yeah, you'll be on the ground next week. Yes.
Okay. So could you remind folks, before I continue to the other two questions before we wrap up, when next week you're going to be here, the place, the date, the time?
Right.
Okay.
So next week we'll be on the ground. The launch ceremony is actually being held on Thursday, which is a private event. But the public's webinar, we're asking folks to sign up via info@utcgbfl.com. If you go onto the website, utcgbfl.com, the Zoom link for the webinar will be there as well. And if you go onto our social media handles, just search UTCGBFL on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. You'll get the link for the webinar as well. The websites also provide quite a bit of information, because if someone listening wanted to get started now, they could actually just go onto the website and start opening their account, right? We have an online account opening platform, which allows clients to start opening that account. But at the webinar, we'll be on hand to go deeper, obviously, into the funds. This is just an appetizer. So we'll go into the main course and the dessert at the webinar, and we'll answer those burning questions that folks have.
Okay, so we are out of time for now, but I look forward to having future conversations with you. So any thing that you want to say as we close up, Tricia and Omar?
Okay, so just to add that UTC GBFL is licensed and regulated by the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission. So this investment is safe. We are licensed and regulated. So if anybody has any concerns, it's new to the market. We are licensed and regulated by the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission. And additionally, it requires all assets be held with an independent custodian, which is the Eastern Caribbean Central Securities Depository, and that's unregulated by the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission. And additionally, it requires all assets be
long-term goals of sending a kid off to school, and we understand the rising cost of things. Investments is really your key to getting that going. So again, log on to our website, utcgbfl.com, sign up for the webinar.
98.9 Win FM.
Think it's in Nevis. Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Join the UTC Global Balance Fund Limited for a free personal finance and investing webinar on Tuesday, July 8th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. via Zoom. Learn from financial expert Omar Burt Smith and Tricia Ann Henry as they break down the power of investing and introduce the UTC Global Balance Global Balance Fund Limited. Seats are limited.
She tell me sweet. Look for me, watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now, a magnum for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a magnum mile.
You can count on us. So if you're
every day of the week with a magnum mile.
You can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. Build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today.
Even a little treat for yourself. Borrow up to $65,000. Little treat for yourself. Borrow up to $65,000 unsecured with low rates and flexible terms. Apply today with low rates and flexible terms. Apply today at TDC Finance.
We are back on Island T, and with me in studio we have Dominic. Dominic, welcome back to our Island T program and July.
Yes, July.
Our Island T program and July.
Yes,
everything
July.
that's happening.
Awesome along with a loan from TDC Financial Services and with a loan from TDC Financial Services, and so
we still need to set up, so if you need shutters, etc.
There you go. So this is an opportunity for those persons who haven't. We also have who haven't thought about. Tell me where else you want to go. Which other department? You choose a department. Tell me where else you want to go. Which other department? You choose a department today.
Let's go to automotive.
Let's go to automotive. So automotive, of course, we're still continuing the Takata airbag recall. We just had another one last week, and the appeal is going out to person 2006 to 2012 Toyota Yaris or Belter. If you have any of those vehicles,
where these vehicles might be, will your technician go to these particular places and replace the airbags?
Absolutely free.
Okay, all right.
We have our team who will come and do it for free, because we do recognize the safety concerns.
Yes.
And we want persons to be safe. And this is our way of making sure that we keep them safe by doing it for free. So at Automotive as well, it's Tire Safety Awareness Month. And we want persons to be driving on the road with the best tires, quality tires from TDC Automotive Division. So from the 1st to the 31st of July, if you purchase any 3 tires of the same size, you get 1 free.
So buy 3, get 1 free?
Buy 3, get 1 free. So stay safe on the road. And of course, we'll put on the tires for you too. You bring a vehicle to Automotive, we put on the
Is there a
tires
cost for you to put on those tires?
Absolutely
or that's
free.
Okay.
Yeah, see all these free things. July must be the month of free. Right?
It must be the month of free. Yeah.
We'll put it on for free to ensure that your vehicle is safe and that you have the performance when you're on the road as well.
Okay.
And this is happening at our Automotive Division in St. Kitts. I know there'll be persons who are listening on Nevis and asking, well, Nevis can get a turn too, but for now, this is just for St. Kitts.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that persons have the genuine part. Sometimes you buy an aftermarket part and it doesn't last.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that you protect not only your passengers as the driver, not only you protecting yourself as the driver, but have the genuine part. Sometimes you buy an aftermarket part and it doesn't last.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that you protect not only your passengers as the driver, not only you protecting yourself as the driver, but the vehicle as well.
With the genuine parts.
Of course. So it's galvanized, the taps, the together now. So you could put your kit together. You could put your, and for those persons who are wondering, about where they're going to put the plastic folder holders and so on. So you might not think about it at that time. That, hey, I need to protect my documents. Let me pick up one of these plastic
but
document
do you
holders.
have the bins too? Because the bins might be a little...
We have that time. That, hey, I need to protect my documents. Let me pick up one of these plastic time. That, hey, I need to protect my documents. Let me pick up one of these plastic
but
document
do you
holders.
Have the bins too? Because the bins might be a little...
We have the bins as well. We have the bins.
The bins might be a bit more airtight than that, because water might seep in. But we can...
Link depot.
Okay.
Okay, I'll choose one.
Please
Since
do.
I gave you. Shop online. Shop TDC Group. We do recognize again that it may not be possible for you to come to the store. Our home and building depots are located at the CA Power Southwell Industrial Site, Frigate Bay Road area. In Nevis, it's at Pinney's. Automotive, same thing. And you may not be able to come to the store. But we want you to know that we have the items that are in store online. So we're giving you the convenience, we're giving you the accessibility. And for those persons who might not know, we now have selected building materials online. Again, we're going to make the connection with the hurricane preparedness and so forth. So yes, selected building materials are online, and you could go to shoptdcgroup.com and pick up your items there. Now, this month is a milestone for shoptdcgroup.com. On the 29th of July, we'll be celebrating our anniversary from the official launch, and we're going to be offering incredible site-wide discounts on the 29th of July.
Oh, wow.
So for persons who want to wait a little while, they could wait a little while. But I'm not saying wait a little while. I'm saying go to shoptdcgroup.com today, now, have a look at the site. You may see things there. Not you may, you will see things there that you need. Not you want, that you need. Don't wait till the 29th though. But on the 29th, we're going to have exclusive site discounts just for the anniversary. So we're marking that milestone by giving persons an opportunity to save more and shop at their own convenience with the access from your mobile phone, your tablet, or your computer. Opportunity to save more and shop at their own convenience with the access from your mobile phone, your tablet, or your computer. See, we got for automotive. Our vehicle of the month.
We did it first.
Yeah, our vehicle of the month.
What's that vehicle kind?
It's the vehicle of the month. It's the Suzuki XL7.
Okay.
And
big discount?
No, but I'll make it even better for you. I'm not going to give a discount because it's not on a discount, but I'm going to give you an experience. You can test drive the XL7 again for free. So you call our automotive division at 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis. Ask for the automotive division and you can book the test drive and experience the XL7. So you're just for yourself. The accessories, the comfort, the feel, whatever else you look for in a car. The smell, new car smell.
I was just going to say, that's a new car smell.
New car smell.
After that, you have to try to buy the freshener that still has the new car scent to keep it that way.
Those come with the purchase. So you want to test drive the vehicle, you could do that. Okay. It's a lot of information going around to share now, but I also have a few more things as well.
Go ahead.
We have our copy and print center. We haven't spoken about our copy and print center much recently, but our copy and print centers used to be in town, but they're now part of the home and building depot.
Just behind.
Just behind in the back.
Paint.
Just in this. Yes, that is
just
correct.
Behind the paint, because we want the folks to find it. So when you come in, you have the paint section, and then you go a little way.
So you've been there. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh,
I like that. So yes, we're doing a feature for grads this month.
Okay.
It's not just for grads, but for persons who are into photography. We're letting them know that you could print your photos at the copy and print center.
Okay.
And you can get a print for as low as $5, $5 easy dollars.
Okay.
So you created
any framing, just in case if you printed a big one and you wanted to frame it.
We provide those services as well. We have frames in store, so we could mix and match for you if you so desire.
Okay.
But for $5 for a print.
The print, it starts at 5.
It starts at 5. It's a 4x6.
Okay, I was just gonna ask the size.
4x6 size.
Okay,
4x6
all right.
size. So we're gonna.
So folks don't think they can come and get the big one to put on the wall. Okay, so it's a 4x6, and that print starts at 5.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll have one more to choose that you might not know of. You've heard of our earbox, TDC earbox?
Yeah, I've heard of the earbox, but I would not have been able to choose that because I wasn't thinking along those lines. Yeah.
So we do have our earbox service. It's a U.S. mailbox service, and I can say this much: I know you have options, right? I know there are options, but recently we've recognized that customers have options, so we've made some changes, and hopefully during this month we'll be able to bring one of those persons from TDC Shipping on board. On board meaning on board for Island Tea, right? We'll have some tea with them, and they'll be able to tell you more about TDC Earbox. Because persons might not know, but we want to give persons additional information. We want to provide persons with the options and how they could save and how they could benefit. So we do have TDC Earbox. It's our U.S. mailbox service. And yes, I'll just tell you one of the changes that we've made. We've now made it easier for you to get your package even quicker. We've done some logistical changes, and persons who use the TDC Earbox platform can now get their packages earlier than before. So we made some changes.
As you said, there are options, but for folks that are now hearing about the earbox, how do they sign up for that?
So you go to www.tdcearbox.com and you click the sign up icon and you sign up.
Okay.
Or if you are not too familiar with, you might not have the time, you can go to TDC Shipping. They're located at the CA Power Southwell Industrial Park on St. Kitts and at Pinny's Industrial Estate on Nevis. You can go there. The office is open from 8 to 5, Monday to Friday, and someone of our staff will be more than happy to assist you.
That's where DHL is, right?
DHL is,
or that's
for the Nevis location, that's where DHL is. But for the St. Kitts location, DHL would be on Frigate Bay Road.
No, but is that where the shipping is?
No, the shipping is inside CA Power Southwell.
Oh, okay.
So you go in the industrial park itself. It's actually located opposite the Hosford's warehouse, directly opposite the Hosford's warehouse.
You see me looking at you here, I'm lost. Well, I hope people have better direction than me or know where the Hosford warehouse is.
We could go together. We could go together.
Okay.
It's on the same street with. It's on the same street with what used to be the Electrofab.
Okay.
That strip. So at the bottom of that street would be Jaro, and if you go towards Builders Paradise, it's on that same left-hand side.
Okay, got you. So I think folks have a better picture
corporate
now.
colors. Yeah, you see our corporate colors on the building, and there's a big logo on it. So that's where you go.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, shucks me. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody else has seen it too.
You probably need to sign up for our Earbox account so you go there more often.
Okay. Start shopping online to get me an Airbox account.
I like that. I could send you my wish list as well, so we could make sure that
I'm signing up for me. He's sending me his wish list.
I'm sending you my wish list. So for the insurance, again, hurricane season, check your policy. As we would say back then,
questions.
I beg you hard. Check your policy. Familiarize yourself with your policy. Know what the terms are and so forth, so that when we get a storm, you know you're protected. Right? So you want to make sure that you are protected. We're looking out for your best interest. We're not only looking out for your property, but we're looking out for you as well. So if you have an insurance policy with us, make sure that you know what it says in the event that we have a storm. Let me make sure I go through my list and check anything. Let me see. Yes. One last thing. Follow us on social media. We have our WhatsApp channels as well, Home and Building Depot and Automotive. And I'd just like to give a plug here for the TDC Loyalty Program, the Mega Rewards Program. I think we were on a couple of weeks ago and we did mention that some changes were coming.
Yeah,
and I want to
changes.
Again thank those persons who've been part of our loyalty program since 2011. So some changes are coming. If you have made changes to your address, your contact number, your first and last name, we're encouraging you to contact us to upgrade. Again, I'm going to stick with the upgrades because we upgrade your account, make sure it's current so that when information goes out, it's there. Remember to include your email address because we will be using the email addresses to share the information. Follow us on social media, not just for the Mega Rewards, but for those activities that we're having in store, any changes, any surprises, anything that we have. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. No questions?
No questions at
Not
all.
one?
No, because you made everything clear.
I thought you would have, at least give me one
No.
question and
See,
say,
I asked
aha,
what-
catch you now.
You see you? No, sir. Dominic, I have no questions for you.
No.
You see, when I was trying to get the direction so we can get the people to find the places, and then I asked the previous questions, but I have no other questions
was
now.
just hoping
Because you've clearly outlined everything that you needed to
Let me
outline. I'm
check
sure the
the list
listeners
again.
got it too.
I'll check the list again. Check the list.
There's
Not
no
one.
questions, Dominic.
Okay, there's none.
All right.
There's none.
So thank you for coming in
You're
as
very
usual.
welcome.
Thank you for bringing the pig. Stop trying to open the pig and take the money out, okay? The money
But I was
stays
hoping
inside.
Well, I have a question for you. Could you put something in the pig for us today?
Okay, I'll put something in the pig. Oh, it doesn't fit.
Next time we'll
Alright,
we'll
see you
solve
next
that.
week?
Next week, yes, and I'll give
Okay.
you a heads up.
Mhm.
We may bring the pig back so you could put
Something in it? Okay, I'll create a nice little message for the piggy. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop
www.shoptdcgroup.com.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
if you need insurance, our service is the best. Home motor insurance can give you more for less. Property insurance can save you a lot of stress. At TDC Insurance Company Limited, we care about your investment. Guarantee you peace of mind. The best team in the business. Guarantee you peace of mind. No other company will. Guarantee you peace of mind. Together we'll succeed and guarantee you peace of mind.
TDC Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Kids and neighbors, it's time to celebrate. We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher, pay your bill in full, sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
Here are your Hostess Value Mart IGA special.
Running June 26th and July 9th.
Now our Value Club Blue Tank specials. Kraft barbecue sauces are just $7.99 each. Essential Everyday vegetable and canola oil, $13.99. Essential Everyday shredded and chunk cheeses, $7.99 each. Banquet breakfast sausages, $7.99. Essential Everyday fries are just $14.99. Essential Everyday disposable containers, $15.99. And now our very low weekly
Value deals. IG and Essential Everyday peanut butter, creamy and crunchy, $8.99. Essential Everyday pasta, $4.99. IGA or Essential Everyday salad dressing, $9.99. Essential Everyday oats, quick and old-fashioned, $15.99. The AM toothpaste, $4.99. Nature Valley granola bars, $12.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea. And before we close out, which we will do shortly in about 7 minutes, I saw a regional headline that I think it's worthy of touching. And it says, "No quarrel with Trinidad. We need this matter resolved," says SVG Prime Minister. And I had seen a little article, and I said little because there's not much to it, where the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines says that he can apply for Trinidadian citizenship, or that he has rights to apply for it, but he's going to abide by his constitution. And he said that he has rights because his mom is Trinidadian and his wife is also Trinidadian. So he basically said, I'll just read bits of it. St. Vincent Prime Minister Ralph Gonzalez.
In the meantime, you have a caller.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Island Tea.
Yes, hello. I'm going to say something as quickly as possible. As mentioned, I used to work inland revenue. At inland revenue, periodically, we would prepare documents and a list of businesses that went out of business. We would prepare those documents and lists about maybe every month or something like that. And let me tell you, those documents and the contents and the list were a lot. A lot.
When you said a lot, out of 20 businesses that were closed, how many actually closed? Or that were pending to close, how many actually closed?
If we're going to say 20, I would say maybe about 9 were, they would say, and the documents never operated. The rest were active.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can continue.
At worst, half-half. At worst, 50-50.
Wow. Okay.
And let me say, the list was a lot, the documents were a lot, and I even used to say to make certain comments and so to other co-workers. So it is very real that businesses in large amounts are regularly going out of business here in St. Vincent, and I've observed it under all administrations. But as time went, it seemed to get worse and worse and worse as time went on. But I observe it under all administration.
Do you still keep data of it by walking around, so you can tell us what existed last year that doesn't exist this year?
Well, I was surprised just not too long ago. I decided to go down Royal Electronics at Port Zante. And when I went down, the space empty. But then not only that, what really surprised me the most, what surprised me the most is that area from where Chocolate Factory used to be, to the upper end where you could go up the Chinese restaurant steps, all was empty. I don't know if anybody gone in since then.
Okay.
At the time, just recently, all of that space was empty where different businesses were in.
So the Chocolate Factory is closed down? Is that
no,
what you're saying?
No,
oh,
we
okay.
used to,
okay.
No, sorry, not Chocolate Factory. The ice cream place. Sorry, I get mixed up.
Scoops, where Scoops used to be. Yeah, but Scoops is now up Bird Rock. Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, but and what I'm saying, from that space there, we different businesses used to be, including Royal Electronics, all empty. And I was surprised.
Yeah, we have another caller.
Yeah, so okay, thank you.
All right, great, thank you. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T.
I am referring to your earlier program. I suppose it was a paid program with, what is it, UTC Global?
UTC, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And the thought occurred to me, well, it's a Trinidadian company, right? And I think they mentioned at the last question or last comment, which I think should have been first, and that was the regulation. Okay, I think they said it was regulated by the East Caribbean Central Bank, right? And I think that is very important because our experience with some of those companies have not been good. Okay, so I think that it was good of them to at least mention that. And while they're at it, well, not so much them, but I would assume the authorities here, whether the ECCB or the East Caribbean Securities Exchange or the government, could delve into exactly what's happening with people who had shares in cable and wireless. Why, or Flow, or whatever name they're under, because there haven't been any dividend paid for ages, it seems, right? And when we don't have answers to these questions, and then you have people come in encouraging people to subscribe to these new products and services out there, it doesn't bode well. Okay, people tend to be discouraged from investing further in companies. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay then.
And we're going to wrap it up now.
Yeah.
Now. And see you. Do take care.
Have a great weekend.
Same, yes.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign. Money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
Hey kids, it's chubby time. Have to go to school and learn.